give a big Kresge welcome for the purple team!
Hi, everybody. I'm Izzy, and these are my teammates, Mandy and Amelia. There are approximately 10 million Parkinson's patients in the world today. And over 70% of these patients experience tremors, the involuntary shaking or trembling of the extremities. In many cases, tremors can get severe enough that patients lose the ability to accomplish daily tasks, such as cutting their food, tying their shoes, or signing their name. It is for these patients that we developed our device, Animo, a wearable device that uses vibration therapy to help reduce tremors. This is Michael, a 56-year-old Parkinson's patient with severe tremors on the right side of his body, especially in his right hand. Since developing tremors, Michael struggles with fine motor skills, such as turning a screwdriver, buttoning his shirt, and writing. And he has to depend on his family to help him operate his construction business. Also, since developing a tremor, Michael has taught himself to paint and to draw with his non-dominant left hand. Michael is here with us today to help demonstrate Animo. Would you please join me in welcoming him to the stage? Hi, Michael.
How are you?
Thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
What was it like learning to paint and to draw with your non-dominant hand?
The best way I can describe it is if each and every one of you go home tonight and try and brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand for about a week, and at the end of the week you still won't be comfortable, you know it's a process. It takes time.
Would you mind showing us what it's like drawing with your right hand?
Absolutely.
Michael will be drawing a spiral, which is a test that doctors use to diagnose Parkinson's disease. Now Michael has Animo. He puts the device on using the Velcro straps. And when he wants to begin the stimulation, he presses the button on the top of the device. Animo cycles through multiple different vibration settings and assesses Michael's tremor at each of those settings, and then chooses the optimal one with the best results. This way, Michael will be able to draw with much more control. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Animo is a device that works when patients wear it and have it turned on. When Michael finishes drawing, he presses the button on the top of Animo to turn off the stimulation. Then, at the end of the day, he puts Animo back on the charger, which has built-in magnets to make it quick and easy to plug in. Michael, what did it feel like when Animo was turned on?
When it's turned on, it feels like I used to feel like I don't have Parkinson's disease. It's an amazing, amazing feeling, and I feel this would be super beneficial to me in everyday task. It's just an amazing, amazing product, and I'm so fortunate to be here tonight. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you later.
All right.
Parkinson's causes tremors, which decreases fine motor control. Animo uses vibrations to stimulate nerves in the wrist. This stimulation creates a feedback loop, which tricks the brain into thinking that the wrist is already tremoring. As a result, the brain sends fewer signals to induce tremors, thus increasing the fine motor control of the patient. Recent research done at the University of Freiburg and University College London has indicated that vibration therapy can be beneficial in mitigating tremors. This research was supported by the Animo Watch research device, which uses vibrations similar to those of Animo to stimulate the wrist. However, the Animo Watch was tuned to one specific patient at one specific time. This is not ideal because Parkinson's patients exhibit a wide range of tremor frequencies. In fact, an individual patient's tremor may change over the course of the day and over the course of their disease progression. Animo uses an autonomously adaptable software to solve this problem. The patient turns on Animo with the press of the button, and it cycles through different vibration frequencies, at each point assessing the impact that this frequency has on the patient's tremor. After this initial assessment is complete, Animo selects a frequency that was the most beneficial for that specific patient at that specific time. In designing the mechanical components of Animo, patients were our #1 priority. The on-off switch is a button that is large and centered on the device, making it easy to interact with. We placed the vibration motors in a leather band and fitted the electronics into a sleek, polished aluminum housing. These two components together make it so the patient doesn't feel necessarily like they're wearing a medical device and is able to feel more like they're wearing a designer watch or a piece of jewelry. The Velcro clasp mechanism makes it easy for patients to put the device on, and the magnetic charging makes plugging it in fast and simple.
Parkinson's patients can learn about Animo by talking to their physician or neurologist. But before patients can start to use Animo, we'll need to go through clinical trials as well as obtain FDA approval as a Class 1 medical device. Throughout our first year, we will be running clinical trials, at which point we will also be collecting tremor data in order to improve Animo's software for all patients. We estimate that this will cost $1.5 million, but we plan to apply for grants and partner with organizations such as the American Parkinson's Disease Association and the Michael J. Fox Foundation to make this possible. After we finish running clinical trials, we'll begin the process of FDA approval, which we expect to take between 6 and 12 months. We hope that Animo will be available to patients by the beginning of our third year, 2020, at a provisional price of $300. However, the most important thing is for us to get FDA approval so that we can get Animo into the hands and onto the wrists of the 7 million Parkinson's patients with tremors as quickly as possible.
We developed Animo to return fine motor skills and independence to Parkinson's patients everywhere. You've seen the impact that Animo will have on Michael's life. We are incredibly excited to build on that technology so that we can share vibration therapy with Parkinson's patients across the world. Thank you. Let me stand over here. Yeah.
Thank you, and I'm going to start right up here with the question. Up here.
I was wondering if you can wear the watch at all times, or if it's like intended for you to take it off after accomplishing a task, and what would be, if there are any downsides to having it on all the time?
So it only works when you turn it on, and so you can turn it on for a specific task. Obviously, if you wear it all day, it'll drain the battery. So it'll last longer if you turn it off in between tasks when you don't actually need that precise dexterity.
Thank you. Question over here.
I just wanted to say that was a great presentation first. You guys did an amazing job. I have a question about the vibration, kind of along those lines. Does applying the vibration from an outside band or watch, especially over longer time periods, like would it damage the wrist or anything like that? Have you done research along those lines?
So longer term use, we haven't done user testing on. That would be left for clinical trials.
I have a follow-on question from Twitter. Can Animo be sold not as a medical device so you can bring it to market faster?
So one of the things we have to look into more is what classification Animo will be. There are right now predicate devices such as massagers that are similar in technology and do similar things to the body, which is a predicate device which allows us to move faster with that class 1 classification. There's a way that using talking to the FDA and talking to lawyers and different specialists in the field, there is a way that we can become a consumer product and be able to get that to market faster. But as we've said, we want to make sure this is safe and reliable for the people before we put it in their hands.
Great answer. Up here?
You mentioned that there were several settings for different people. So what kind of settings do you have? It's like different frequencies or what else?
Yeah, it's a great question. So currently we only have different frequency states that Animo cycles through. We plan to, in future iterations, to have different parameters that we can change. So one comes to mind is amplitude, and kind of seeing how varying both the amplitude and the frequency can optimally reduce the tremor.
Question over here.
So first of all, I'm pretty sure my whole family just cried at that because it was just so amazing. But question for Dad, what was the thought that went through your head when you used it for the first time?
I felt like I was myself again. I felt like I was myself again, like I was before the diagnosis. I make a living with my hands. If I didn't take my oldest daughter into my business right now, I probably wouldn't be in business. This device will help me continue on and be productive. It's just an amazing, amazing. These guys here did great work, great work. It works.
Thank you for your question. Question over here?
Yeah, so you guys mentioned that in the past there was a product that was way more individualized. Can you guys speak to if your product is more general, and have you been able to test with other users?
Hi. Oh, here.
So we've tested with 15 to 20 different users. Michael was our participant with the most significant tremors and noted the most significant improvement in his spiral test. However, when testing with participants, we did note a reduction in rigidity, another Parkinson's symptom. We also tested with a participant who has essential tremors due to another disease and noticed a significant improvement in their spiral test as well.
Thank you. And with that, we're out of time. Thank you, Purple Team.